Hannah Hidalgo, JuJu Watkins highlight new wave of star power. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese met in the 2023 National Championship game in Dallas, and the Iowa-LSU showdown was the most-watched game in the history of the sport. A year later, Clark and the Hawkeyes faced Reese and the Tigers in a Monday Night Elite Eight rematch. It was a record-breaking redo, with 12.3 million people tuned in to set another viewership mark that lasted only a week before Iowa lost to undefeated South Carolina in the 2024 National Championship. The game was viewed by 18.9 million people, the most-watched basketball game of any level since 2019. Clark and Reese were lightning rods for audience growth in women's college basketball. The phenomenon translated to the pro level. Clark was a sharpshooting guard for Indiana, and Reese served as Chicago's relentless rebounder. Sellout crowds, high watermarks, and ratings and apparel sales skyrockets in their rookie campaigns in the WNBA. Their next-level success at the next level might bring fear of a looming void of star power in women's college basketball. Allow us to introduce you to the heiresses to the throne vacated by Clark and Reese. There are several candidates primed to step into the spotlight, and many already played thriving roles in their team's success and the popularity of the sport. Who's got next? If you're asking that question, there are more than a few potential answers. I just remember being younger and seeing women's basketball not getting that talk, where I feel like we deserve it, says Notre Dame sophomore Hannah Hidalgo. To see people like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and before that Aaliyah Boston and Zia Cook, and how women's basketball is on the rise, and seeing how many people are talking about it, I just think being a part of this generation is truly a blessing. It's only up from here. We're still growing, and women are progressing now. Let's start there in South Bend, Ind, with Hidalgo. She burst onto the scene last year and won a bevy of awards while leading Notre Dame to an ACC tournament title and an appearance in the Sweet 16. There were doubters last season with Fighting Irish All-American point guard Olivia Miles, set to be sidelined while recovering from a knee injury. Instead of trying to fill Miles' shoes, Hidalgo kicked them aside, tied up her own sneakers, and played the game her way, which turned out to be a significant part of a winning formula for Notre Dame. The speed, confidence, and instincts of the 5'6" sophomore from New Jersey allowed her to lead the nation in steals per game with 4.6, and she finished 7th nationally in scoring with 22.6 points per game. Hidalgo also led the country in defensive win shares with 2.9. When the season ended, Hidalgo had been named a first-team All-American, ACC Rookie of the Year, ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and ACC Tournament MVP. Hidalgo had a knack for playing well in big games as a freshman, pouring in 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists in a road win at rival UConn, and piling up 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in an ACC title game win over NC State. Hidalgo is ready for her encore. A healthy Miles is set to join her in the backcourt this season, making Notre Dame look like a real contender. It's going to be electric. I think everyone is going to be really excited to see those two play together, Notre Dame coach Neil Ivey said. You're looking at two of the best in the business when it comes to running the point. On the West Coast, another star emerged last season at USC. JuJu Watkins entered her freshman campaign with a ton of hype. Billed as the top high school player in the country, she didn't disappoint. Like Hidalgo, she was a first-team All-American and was also named National Freshman of the Year by the WBCA and won the Ann Myers Drysdale Award for the best shooting guard in the nation. The 6'2" California native averaged 27.1 points per game, second only to Clark, and led the nation in free throws made per game with 7.1. Watkins also set the all-time national scoring record by a Division I freshman, piling up 920 points. She powered the Trojans to a Pac-12 tournament title and an appearance in the Elite Eight, USC's first since 1994. For the mega shoe brand Nike, it's betting big on Watkins' star power, as it inked her to what ESPN called one of the richest shoe endorsement deals in women's basketball. With USC joining the Big Ten this year, Watkins will play more often on national television. Last season, when Watkins scored a program record 51 points in a road win at Stanford, it was buried on the difficult-to-find Pac-12 networks. USC will play 7 times on ESPN, NBC, or Fox this season, and other games on Peacock, FS1, True TV, and the Big Ten Network.